So now we're looking at the step number 4, where we are simply saying that add b over 2a squared on both sides of the equation. So adding b over 2a squared on both sides of the equation, what are we simply saying? We are supposed to have, remember the equation, we have x squared plus b over ax is equal to what? Negative c over a. So adding this guy on both sides, or simply saying, to left hand side we add b over 2a squared. Right hand side we add b over 2a squared. So that when it comes to this part now, we are able now to factorize this. So factorizing this is just as good as concentrating on these two terms which have squares. So get the x and get what is in the bracket c, b over 2a. This b over 2a is positive. Open up your bracket, close this side, and you square them. So what are we simply saying? This is the factorized version of this. So if you expand this, you will end up to have something of this nature. So x and what's in the brackets, put them together like that, you square. But on your right hand side, you still have. Now, most of the times mathematically, we always want to write things starting with the positive. This is negative c over a, and this is positive. So I can write this by saying positive b over 2a squared minus c over a. It's still the same thing. So now I'm working with this now. This is what I'm working with. I'm going to be working with that one. Let me just delete now my top part. I'm sure I can even delete this part. Deleting that part. So what am I having? I have x plus b over 2a squared to be equal to b over 2a squared minus c over a. This is what I have. So that, simplifying my right hand side, this squared for both the numerator and the denominator, so that I can have b squared over 4a squared minus c over a. Oku, I still have x plus b over 2a squared. Well, okay? So that my right hand side can be simplified as a single fraction. Lowest common denominator between these two is basically 4a squared. This into this is 1. 1 times b squared, I'm going to have b squared. This into this is 4a. 4a minus that times that is minus 4ac. What do I have on my left hand side? I have x plus b over 2a squared. What is the m? The m is to delete the square. We are now solving by extracting roots. So square root of this and square root of that. This goes, I can have x plus b over 2a. Square rooting this, I can square root the numerator, which is b squared minus 4ac, over the square root of the denominator. I'll just have 2a. We are okay? Now, when you square root something, obviously the outcome should be positive or what? Or negative of that. So that we can find in the value of x, x will now be equal to, when this crosses, it will become negative b over 2a. Here I have positive or negative the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So what is happening here? Simplify this as a single fraction. Lowest common denominator here, it's a 2a. 2a into 2a is 1. 1 times negative b is negative b. Positive or negative, this into this 1. 1 times that, it's the square root of b squared minus 4ac, which is our outcome. So therefore, the value of x has been shown. X is equal to negative b, positive or negative, the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Hence, shown. How has it been shown? Using the method of completing the square. So the same process and the same arrangement, it is what is happening when it is solving, completing the square with any question it will be given to you. Now look at our next question there. We are being told that solve by completing the square. I want to solve the value of x using the completing the square method. So we've been given x squared plus 4x minus 32 equal to 0. We start. The same process we used in deriving that formula is the same process we're going to use in finding the value of x for this one. So we are solving the value of x. So first step, we know that this is x squared plus 4x minus 32 to be equal to 0. So the first step is to make the c go to the other side. I'm going to have x squared plus 4x to be equal to positive 32. Next, make the coefficient of x squared to be 1. It's already a 1. If there was a number attached to x squared here, I would have divided throughout by that number. So the instance here is that make sure that x squared is a 1. It shouldn't be negative 1, but it's supposed to be positive 1. If it was negative 1 here, if it was a negative, I could have divided throughout by negative 1 to make sure it is positive 1. Next, if that is the case, the coefficient of b is 4. So what are we simply saying? Halving the coefficient of b. Having the coefficient of x, having the coefficient of x. So halving this, it is 4 multiplied by 1 over 2, which is going to give us a what? A 2. Squaring the outcome. Squaring the outcome, this will be 2 squared. Do not simplify it by writing your 4, but you square it and keep it the way it is. So when you square it, we're now going to add it on both sides of the equation, so that I can have x squared plus 4x plus 2 squared is equal to, remember I had a 32 plus 2 squared. Now, we simply say that make sure you pay particular attention. Do not simplify it there and then. Keep it after adding it on both sides, so that you can simplify your right hand side later on. So if this is positive, I'm going to get x and positive 2. What is in here is positive 2. If what was inside here was negative 2, this could have been x minus a 2. So this is positive 2. No wonder it has come out to be x plus 2. In bracket, you square it. So the factorized version of this is basically x plus 2 squared. To be equal to my right hand side, I have 32. I can simplify number this to be plus a 4. So that I can have x plus 2 squared to be equal to 32 plus 4, which is basically my 36. Delete this square by square rooting both sides, so that you can have, I'm going to have what? X plus 2 to be equal to, when you square root something, the answer is always positive or negative 6. So that your value of x can be equal to 2. When this goes to the other side, becomes negative 2, but he found positive negative 6. So that our value of x can be equal to negative 2 plus 6, or our value of x can be equal to negative 2 minus 6. So the first one will be a 4, whilst the other one will be negative 8. These are the values of x using the completing the square method. Take the 32 to the other side, half the coefficient of x, you square it, add it on both sides. As simple as that. Then the rest is a simplification. Now, how about this one? 8 plus 4x minus x squared is equal to 0. Now, we understand that we know a quadratic equation always starts with the x squared. So, rewriting this is just the same as saying negative x squared plus 4x plus 8 is equal to 0. Nothing has crossed the equal sign. I've just rearranged it like that. But we're using the completing the square now. We always make sure that the c crosses the other side. So the c is positive 8. Crosses, what am I going to have? I'm going to have negative x squared plus 4x to be equal to negative 8. Next, make the coefficient of x squared to be 1. This is not 1, this is negative 1. So dividing throughout by negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. What am I going to have? I'm going to have x squared minus 4x is equals to positive 8. The coefficient of x is 4. Half this. Halving this, I'm going to have what? Halving this, I'm going to have a 2. The outcome should be squared. So this should be added on both sides of the equation. So I'm going to have x squared minus 4x plus the square of that is equal to 8 plus 2 squared. Then factorize these 3, get this and get that. X plus 2 squared is equal to 8 plus 4. X plus 2 squared is equal to, is it a 12? Yeah. Delete the square, your square root. X plus 2 is equal to positive or negative the square root of 12. So that we can have the first value of x can be equal to, when 2 crosses becomes negative 2, positive or negative the square root of 12. These are the two values of x. One can come from negative 2 plus the root of 12. The other one will be negative 2 minus root of 12 as the value of x. So now, the task I'll review under the completing the square will be as follows. I want you to look at how to complete the square and find the value of x4. C, which I can simply say 3x squared plus 9x plus 5 equal to 0. Complete that one. D, I can say 2x squared plus 5x minus 8 is equal to 0. Use the completing the square method to work out those two expressions. And then at the same time, I want you to also use the formula method. I believe the formula will not be difficult. What is the formula? Just from deriving it, x equal to negative b positive or negative the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Use the formula as well to work out those two. So use two methods. So in your solution, which you are going to send me on our WhatsApp line, be able to solve these two using the completing the square, and be able again to solve these two using the formula method. And then we are good to go. Thank you very much, and blessed night or day or morning.